Hey you guys, are you ready for the cute cake that I made yesterday? This is the heart-shaped cake reveal that I was teasing yesterday, and I think it turned out so cute. I made this cake for my friends over at Beaches. It is their 24th birthday, which is absolutely huge, and I love that I've been around for the entire time that they've existed, and just to see the brand grow is so fun. For this cake, I baked 2 9-inch by 2-inch cake rounds, and then I cut each layer in half, so I got 4 1-inch cake layers. For the flavor, I used my sprinkle birthday cake, and then for the filling and frosting, I'm using my American buttercream. Once I was done layering and crumb coating the cake, I then put my cake in the freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes to allow it to completely set up and allow the frosting to harden. Once it was done in the freezer, I took it out and I'm starting my final coat of frosting, which I used my vanilla buttercream frosting and I colored it with Chef Master Turquoise. This is one of my all-time favorite colors that I use. I love when people choose this color for their cakes because it is my favorite color. So what I'm doing is I'm just using my piping bag, going around the cake to make sure I covered the entire surface, get my cake scraper, smooth that out, and after a few times of scraping, I'll then dip my scraper under hot water, wash off the excess frosting, and work with a clean tool. To trim the edges, I'm using my small offset spatula to clean up those edges and clean up the top. It works like magic. I then put my cake in the freezer for another 5 minutes to allow it to set up, and then I put these stencil numbers on top. That way I can trace them and get the numbers perfectly in place. It worked like magic. I absolutely love using this technique. After I was done tracing the number, I then had the brilliant idea of placing these tiny little pearl sprinkles by hand, one by one. It did take me about 30 to 35 minutes to place all of them, but I think it did turn out just exactly how I had in mind. Now for the piping details. For the top details, I used Wilton 4B around the top edge. And then for the cute ruffle effects, I'm using around the top edge as well as over this curtain detail, I used Wilton piping tip 103. For the curtain ruffles around the sides of the cake, I decided that I wanted it to be multi-dimensional, and so I added another layer of them, and I love how it turned out. And then for the final piping details, I took the ruffle, took that around the base of the cake to add some dimension on the cake board, and then I took Wilton piping tip 18, did some cute little wave designs around the top edge and the bottom edge, which I absolutely loved. It was such a cute petite design, but I think it added the detail perfectly that I wanted to address. Here is the final reveal. Let me know what you think.